Staying united in a divided world.
Welcome to Marriage Monthly. We're Gabe and Melissa Kolstad, and we want to help you build a healthy, lifelong marriage. We get together every single month with a podcast designed to just give you practical tips to help you grow in your marriage, and we can't wait to spend some time with you.
Tough topic.
That's what we're going to talk about today, because all I see recently on social media, again, recently, is the division.
Yeah.
Everybody's mad or hot about one topic or another, and they're all voicing their opinion.
And it bleeds into marriage, doesn't it?
And I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. I don't want any part of it. I just avoid all of it.
Yeah.
But I know some couples that are completely pulled in by that stuff.
Absolutely.
And it causes division.
It does.
It's a stressful topic, and it's not meant to be the highlight of our marriages. So I think we should talk about this. So, couples are being discipled more by politics than Scripture, by headlines more than the Holy Spirit, and by conflict more than their calling. And it's ruining their relationships by just focusing on all their energy on this crap that changes all the time. That's the problem. They're putting all their energy into these things that change every 4 years for sure. All the time. And so, and to just put all your energy in there is just causing division. And I say, get rid of all that crap and focus on what is uniting us together. And we're going to talk about that. I want to focus on, just real quick, I want to read a passage to you that I just love. Ephesians 5:31-33. It says, as the scriptures say, a man leaves his father and mother and is joined with his wife, and the two are united into one. This is a great mystery, but is an illustration of the way Christ and the church are one. So again, I say each man must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. And I think that is so powerful. We talk about that verse 31 all the time, leave and cleave. We always talk about it. But two become one. Now, this is not this to say that two become the exact same person, because we couldn't be more opposite.
Right.
But it just means joined together, aligned. And I think that's really important. So the two become one. It's really, really important to me. So I'm excited to talk about this topic of uniting and not dividing. So why don't you kick us off?
Okay, well, this is the first time that you and I have seen each other today in person.
Yeah, and we look exactly alike.
And I just thought that was kind of funny. We're talking about being united, and we literally, like, black cats, green and black
You should be
shirts.
watching this, not listening to it, because we are so cute in our black and olive with our hats. I know.
Total accident. Never happens. But here we are.
It does actually
We're
happen.
United.
We wore orange and black at church a couple weeks ago, and everybody was like, did you guys plan that? And I'm like, no.
Well, I'm sure if anything, you were copying me today. So.
Okay. All right. That's all right.
Okay, so to stay united in a divided world, we've discovered just a few things. And, we're married now, going on 31 years. This is our year. We're going to celebrate 31. Surely we've learned some lessons the hard way, and also we've learned some lessons the easy way. The easy way to learn lessons? From other people's mistakes.
Exactly.
And so we've done that for sure. We've also had our own, School of Hard Knocks stuff. But a few things we want to share with you. First one is to establish your common ground. We think that is so important. If you want to stay united in a divided world, common ground is so important. And it's like a choice, right? Like, you can either choose to focus on what's dividing you or what could unite you.
Yeah.
And common ground is the thing where you're going, we share some of the same things. Obviously, you already said, we're so opposite in so many ways, and we could easily focus on that. And at times we have, and then that, we get those sparks that the bad sparks, and then you're like, wait, that's not the right thing.
But I think opposites attract. And if you're the same, then one of you is not necessary. So
Yeah. And so most couples are dealing with this. They're like,
always
this
different.
is maddening. They're so different than me. But it's probably why your relationship started in the first place, is because you're different.
Yeah.
Values should be more important than preferences, we think. Because you're going to have to, prioritize one of those things. And Genesis 2:24, God establishes unity at the very beginning. A man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, God says. So it's like before things even kicked off, there was this priority and sacredness on unity and togetherness.
Yep.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3 in the Old Testament says, how can two walk together unless they are agreed? And agreement, that can be a sticky thing, because, do we agree with each other on everything political? No, we don't. Do we agree on preferences of when we should get up and when we should go to bed? Absolutely not. There's so many things, right? So
your alarm went off at like 5:30 this morning, and I literally almost wanted to kick it and smash it.
I know. I'm so glad it's so far away from you that you can't do that. I put it on the far side of the room so she can't reach it. But we're talking about agreeing in values, not even in preferences. We're talking about agreeing in values, not personalities, because, again, we're pretty opposite on personalities. Yeah. And Paul's vision of unity in Philippians chapter 2, verse 2 is one mind, one purpose. So going back to like those big picture things, purpose, values, those are things that you can say, oh, that we could be together on. Someone said values are the guardrails, preferences are the scenery. So you're driving down the freeway. Cool. The values are what keep you on path. Yeah. And then the preferences are kind of like, oh, haha, look at, she likes to get up later than me. Oh, haha, look, his alarm went off. Haha.
He likes broccoli. What?
Yeah, he likes broccoli. Yeah. But if marriage is a partnership, it means that I'm doing my part, and it's different. You know, their partnership means two different things coming together.
Yeah.
And so in challenging times, coming together on common ground is important. But I think if I was to ask the question, what's the best time to build common ground? It's not going to be to wait until you have a conflict, because in the middle of a conflict, it's hard to rewind. You know, we have experience of that. It's hard to rewind in the middle of a conflict. It's much better to think about this in advance. So maybe if you're right now, you're listening to this or watching this and things are kind of okay in your relationships, the perfect time to go to work on this and go, what are our values? What values we both embrace? You know, you think about things like faith or generosity or truth or humility or
serving
unity.
together, right?
Yeah.
That's a fun one to do together.
Serving, do we serve others?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I remember a time when we were having a particularly bumpy family ride, and our kids were much younger, and it was just a chaotic time of life for us with the kids doing different activities and all this stuff, and it felt like everything was kind of colliding. And we both noticed it, and I don't know that the kids noticed it, but I think everybody was unhappy for a little tiny season. So we decided we would do this family values thing. Do you remember what we came up with?
It's
love God, love each other,
do your part,
learn and grow,
and have fun.
And have fun. Yeah,
that was my favorite part.
That was Melissa's, and so she's reversed the order where it's like have fun and then everything
first,
else.
Yeah.
But the thing that brought us together as a whole family was we agreed on those things, and it was kind of a fun conversation because we didn't even make those up. We just asked the kids, you know, what kinds of things, and we started having this conversation, and as we sort of honed it, that's what we were all saying was these are the 5 things.
And it's not like we talked about it all the time, but the kids all knew.
Yeah,
I
think
have a
any
responsibility,
one of our kids could say those now because we reinforced it a lot, but they were also things that we all valued, and what we were doing was we were acting outside of our values, and that was taking us out of our common ground. So, you know, where have preferences maybe become front and center, and where could we replace that with values? Talk less about the preferences, you know. I don't think it means we avoid hard conversations. I just think it means we put more emphasis on what draws us together than what divides us. And I think that's the first secret that we think, you know, has worked really well for us.
Yeah, and I think also just from my perspective, and me and a couple of my sister-in-laws, we've talked about this so many times, is just don't make a big deal out of everything.
Right.
Like, just take it down a
literally
notch.
wrote that down in my notes.
Did you?
Yeah, so you just stole my thunder. But.
Oh, did you write that in another part? I didn't look at you.
No, it's okay.
I didn't look through your stuff. Sorry.
I'll recover.
But anyways, I think it's important to not make a big deal out of everything. Like, find the common ground and let's focus on that stuff and not on all the peripheral stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Anyways, number 2 is respect their differences. Again, to become one, we are not the same, but we are one in Christ, because that is how God planned it and how he did it. And so it's awesome. Romans 12:4-5 says, we belong to each other, and each part has its own special work. So differences are by design. We are different. Every person in the world, I'm not exactly like anybody in the world. I'm like a couple people. Like, I can think of my friend Lahiva. We got a lot in common. We're a lot. We kind of have the same wavelength. My brother Tim, we're always on the same wavelength. But it's like, you know, most people I know, completely opposites. Yeah. I mean, completely opposites. Everybody's different, and we got to just honor those differences. They are by design, and it's okay. They help us grow. We sharpen each other, right? I mean, that's just how it is. So we got to respect that.
Sometimes.
And annoy each other. Yeah, I don't like that one. So 1 Corinthians 12:12-27 is the same body, same parts, but there's different parts that do different things. And so that's talking about the body of Christ, really, but it also works at home.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you are designed to do one thing, and you're designed to do one thing, and we're all different. And so we all have our places, I guess you could say. So I love that. And then 1 Peter 3:7 says, husbands are commanded to honor their wives. That is a big one. Commanded to honor their wives. So, I mean, I think that's a big deal. One time we did this wedding. Where was it at? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was at a lodge in a place called Brightwood, Oregon.
Wait, was that?
That was at the Resort at the Mountain.
Resort at the Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mount Hood, Oregon.
So they did this Irish like hand thing where they like were tied. I think did you did the wedding, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so you tied their hands together with
hand
rope.
fasting is the ceremony thing. Yeah.
I love that, but it was so special to me. I mean, that was Jordan and Sharon. I remember that now. It's such a beautiful symbol of not being separated.
Yeah.
Like being together. Like it's not like you're trapped, like they call the ball and chain, all that kind of stuff. It's not like that. It's a beautiful illustration of being brought together and not letting anybody separate us. We're tied together now. It's like, that's what we're doing, and we're on this journey together. So I think it's important. It means we're just inseparable. And I feel like that a lot with you. Is we're not separable. Someone comes along that it's like, nope, get out.
Yeah.
Like don't care about you.
But I think also a lot of times people look at this, like if I'm going to really be successful at marriage, I have to almost unbecome myself. Like I have to sort of stop being me so then we can be us or something like that. And I think that that's not even what God's asking us to do.
No, I think we're supposed to be ourselves, but we're supposed to merge and work together. Because like if I want to do one thing and you want to do one thing and we never come together, that's a problem. Like we gotta come together. I think it's important. I love that saying, you don't have to see eye to eye to walk hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that with a lot of people. I mean, I have different views on a lot of stuff, and I say them loud and proud.
Quite readily.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, I just think it's important that you can still have a good relationship with your friends, with your family, with your spouse, particularly, and not agree with every single solitary thing that happens and what they, don't like about this, and you like it, and you're like, hey, and make a big deal out of it. I just think that's such a waste of time. It's such a divider. So, I mean, it's okay if we're different. Like, I think it's okay. We need to come together. I think that's what God wanted. So, practical tools would be help me understand instead of how could you think that? Which I love that, because I think a lot of people, us chicks, remember like, oh, what is wrong with you? Like, why don't you think exactly like me? Like something's wrong with you. Listen without waiting for them to shut up so you can make your point, which I think is a lot. Ask, is this a difference or is this a division? Because it's okay if we're different.
Yep.
It's not okay if it's dividing us.
Right.
Like there's a difference. So Gabe and I are
really
very different. I am very chocolate. He is very vanilla. I like sweet things. He likes savory things. He loves to dive deep in a topic and learn everything about it. He loves education. I don't as much. He likes alternative music. I like pop. He loves movies. I don't so much. He loves all things water. He wants to go to a soaking tub 5 times a week or go kayaking or like always water. And I do it lovingly, but I don't love water. I love the gym. He tolerates the gym. Yeah. I love chick flicks and comedy. He would rather watch action adventure. But even though we have a lot of differences in our preferences and things we like to do, we also have found a lot of common ground, and we have a lot of fun doing things that we find fun together. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So go ahead.
This reminds me of, remember those 3-legged races you would do as a kid? Like, do you ever do those? Like, I don't know why church functions when I was growing up, they always did these. Where you like,
who had all the potato sacks?
Right.
Like, why would everybody have potato
exactly.
sacks in the 80s?
So we would, what a dumb, I don't know. They were probably like some
stupid.
world excess of potato sacks. So all the churches had to figure out what to do. Anyway, so you'd get in like a race and you'd have to put, your 2 legs in a potato sack, and then you, of course,
Other
had
leg
each
out.
your outside leg. But it is tough to learn.
Coordinate with
it's
the partner.
It's so tough because you don't even think about their gait's different, their legs are different length, all the things.
I don't care. We'd kill it.
We would kill it.
We would kill it.
Yeah,
I
let's
already
do
know
it.
that. So,
okay.
anyways.
All right. The next one is set ground rules for disagreements. Ground rules for disagreements. Because inevitably you will have conflict. They say combat is optional. You're going to have conflict, but combat, you do not have to have combat. And really, we shouldn't have combat with our spouse. I mean, conflict is like a difference of opinion, or, we're adjusting to a different schedule or rhythm, or We're not understanding where they're coming from. Combat's when you like go to war about it.
You're toe-to-toe, yelling, screaming, throwing stuff, punching walls.
That ought not to.
That should never be the
Because
case.
here's how God describes Christian relationships. James 1:19-20. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. That's quite different than combat. Ephesians 4:26-27. Don't let anger give the enemy a foothold. Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away anger. Colossians 3:12-14. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, and humility. I mean, this is a commitment to a different way. And I think we can learn everything bad about how to handle differences in the world because just, again, you said it, social media means you're going to put everybody down.
Yeah.
You're going to elevate yourself.
Make your opinion so loud.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be so loud and so ugly about it and all that stuff. And what God is teaching us is to have a commitment to togetherness.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with values. And just to call this out, like if you haven't agreed on values, then that's the place to start.
Figure it out, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really have togetherness without values being together. And I think that's why God puts so much emphasis on don't be unequally yoked. Now, not everybody is in that situation. There might be some really great Christians out there right now watching, listening, who are like, I know, and I can't change that about my spouse now. Maybe you weren't a believer when you got married, and then you became a believer. Now your spouse is not a believer, and you're like, whoa, how do we have the same values? I think you can still at least start to find where they overlap, but then set ground rules for disagreements. Because even if you are a believer and your spouse is a non-believer, one of the things that Peter teaches is the way to influence your spouse as a believer is through things like gentleness, right?
Yep.
And patience and prayer and long suffering and those things.
Yeah,
so
it's not barking your orders and your agenda all the time.
Yeah.
That just shoves them away.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is about commitment, not feelings.
Yep.
And I like the idea of the seatbelt principle. You put it on before you crash, not in the middle of it. So same with ground rules. Like what will characterize when you have a difference of opinion? Will it be screaming and yelling? I mean, like here's a few ground rules that we try to practice. One, no yelling. Just not a part of our relationship. We just don't do it. And I think because when we started out, we made this determination that we wouldn't do it. Also, I think neither one of us came from homes where that was done. So we were never. It just wasn't natural. Like that wasn't. So I think my parents. I think your parents. That
they did come. They came from homes that yelled and screamed though, and they broke that and said we're not doing it that way. So I'm so thankful for that.
And for the most part, I think your kids will follow what you've done. They broke that chain, which was beautiful. But it's I think it's upon us then, if you're a parent, to go. What do I want my kids to have as a reflex when it comes to disagreement? Because their reflexes are going to be built in. And man, how hard it is to undo a reflex. It takes a lot of work. So no yelling, no interrupting. That's harder. That's easier said than done. It's so easy to like you said, listen, waiting for them to shut up so you can finally say your thing.
So you can make your point.
That's hard to break. But no personal insults. That just shuts everybody down. So what are the ground rules? I mean, these are good ones. No always or never statements. Like you always do this, you never do that.
Yeah.
We know that's not right. We know that that's not actually even true. We're just using exaggeration to try to make a point.
Exactly.
And it's almost like a negotiation tactic where we're going to overstate our case so that hopefully they back down. But that's just being deceptive. No fighting when one person is halt, HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
Yeah.
So there ought to be a pass that we can give if one of us is hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. The thing is that if you get into a situation that's tense, you need to identify that and be like, you know what, I shouldn't be talking about this right now. I'm hungry, or I'm angry, or I'm lonely, or I'm tired. And I'm going to, just admit it. I'm going to exaggerate. I'm going to blow this out of proportion right now. Can we reschedule this? Can you give me half an hour?
And that's what I was going to say. Give it a half hour.
Yeah.
But don't say, let's talk tomorrow.
Right.
Because that other person is not going to sleep and be undone. And they're going to be rehearsing. They're going to be rehearsing their part overnight, and it's going to blow bigger.
Yeah.
So nip it in the butt, but also take a breather if you need to. Go have a snack and a nap. And then bring it back.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So the ground rules you said earlier, don't make a big deal out of everything. And I think this is it should maybe be a ground rule. Like, don't make a big deal.
Yeah.
Is it really even a big deal?
Right.
Like that, some little thing got moved on the counter at home, or is that a big deal? No, it's not a big. It's not a. That shouldn't be the thing that characterizes our relationship, and it shouldn't be something that the enemy uses to put a crack in the marriage, that then, I mean, because the problem with cracks in marriage is then some dude walks by or some girl walks by, and like that's what the enemy uses to draw us away from our spouse is those little cracks of can't believe, she left that there or he left there, he didn't do that, or and so just going back to what do we love together? What pulls us together? I think
nothing can pull you apart. Yeah. No, that's good. And number 4 is create bonding memories. And I'm really good at this.
You are the best, literally.
Couples who play together stay together. Anyways, Song of Solomon 2:10-13 says, "Come away with me. They want to be together." Ecclesiastes 9:9, "Live happily with the woman you love," which is cute. So, I mean, I would say vacation memories are probably the biggest memory maker for us because it pulls us. We are busy a lot. There's always something happening at the church or in our life or in our family or some emergency all the time. Everybody's in a panic mode, and it can be very overwhelming. So for us to get away, and even when we do this for the night, we'll go to the beach or we'll go to, Seattle, like just pull us away from our phones, our TVs, our computers, just get us out. And man, it's so much better. But vacation memories stick so much longer than arguments. They're huge. So, I've been focused on this thing. I read this book called Bad Thoughts, I think is what it is. It's by Les Parrott and Judah Smith.
Yeah.
And they talk about these ruts and how you just start obsessing about something and your mind gets in this rut where it will not get out of this rut. And so all you do is think about it. And it could be, health, it could be a relationship, it could be school, it could be a zillion different things. But you're so obsessed about it. You have built these huge, deep ruts. Nobody's getting out of it. Like when they're around you, they're going to hear about it because your life sucks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's neuroscience that talked about these positive experiences and these negative experiences and how they build ruts and how our job, a lot of times, if we're stuck in a negative rut, we got to figure out how to fill it in,
break it
up, and get a happy rut because there's got to be positive ruts because our mind will go negative. It's just human nature. Right. It's just the negative world we live in. It loves to live there. And it's no, God wants us doing fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. I mean, let's get in that rut where we're serving others, loving God, focus on that stuff. We don't need to stay in the negative rut. I know too many girls that like to be in the negative rut. They want to complain. They want to be sad. And I don't understand that because I'm fairly optimistic. And so I don't understand why you'd always want to be sad. It's like you just want to live in that thing. And so I'm saying, I'm pleading with you, create bonding, happy memories because that's going to change your life and your marriage. And when you look back at your life, you're married to this guy for 50 years, don't you want it to be well, we barely made it. I mean, don't you want it to be we did it and we killed it? We did marriage right. Yeah. And I feel like we do that. We're 30 plus years in now. And I'm we do marriage right. That's why we do this podcast because I'm happy with my marriage. And I think we do it good. And I think
our best.
We do our best. And I mean, it's not perfect, clearly, but because I'm crazy. But I'm just saying, I forget 50% of what Gabe says. I'm just going to say that right now. He told me about something that I'm supposed to be speaking out tomorrow night. And I was like, oh, what? I'm not doing that. It's so he keeps up with my crazy. So I appreciate that. But anyways, I'm just saying let's create bonding memories. And to me, a lot of that is vacation memories. I think, just get out of that negative rut and find some happy new things that you can do. Planning memories is magnetic. I mean, when Gabe's got to watch it because if he says man, wouldn't it be fun to go to Iceland?
Oh my word, yeah.
I literally within an hour I have figured out flights, hotels, exactly what we're going to do.
Lock down the credit cards before I say that,
because I will figure it out. But I am so good at traveling. I find flights for under $200.
We're going to Miami for $99.
No, that was Boston. We did Boston when I got Miami tickets to and from nonstops for $180.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm great at figuring out travel cheap.
Well, I think something that I would say is why you're good at this is because you think it through. I mean, you really do put a lot of creative time into what could we do that would be fun and new. And and they say, and here's a relationship research fact, is that couples who insert novelty into their marriage are happier, measurably happier, where it's something new. And I know not everybody likes surprises. You don't like surprises.
I don't care for surprises. I like to plan the surprises. I don't like
them.
But
you wouldn't want the same thing over and over again. So it's like you just don't want to be surprised by it, but you like new things. You like novelty. And so that novelty is something that we can all bring to it. And one other caution that I would put in this about the memory thing is that, like, you're way better at this than I am. I just don't think the same way. And it's definitely a strength for you. And then, for me to do the same thing requires 10 times as much energy as it does for you. But I think if I never do that, then I'm just lazy and I'm just I'm just coasting, right?
Yeah.
So I think if your spouse is the planner, at some point, don't let them be the only one inserting novelty.
Because that does get annoying. Yeah. Like, you start to feel like, good grief, I do this all the time. Because we do a date every single Monday. And I don't know, a couple weeks ago, you were like I think it was a day that my mom had died.
Yeah, it was a Thursday.
So, it was a Thursday. It was 19 years that my mom had been passed. And Gabe was like, we're going out tonight. And I was like, oh, no. Where are we going? But he had all these 3x5 cards with different activities that we needed to do on this date. And there was 5 or 6 of them. We had to go to a bookstore and we had to go eat somewhere. And there had to be candlelight and
culture.
So there was all these different things. And it was really sweet and really creative. And I had a really fun night. So, I mean, get creative. Get those date nights on the calendar. I don't care what you have to do.
That was hard.
I'm sure it was for you. Not to me. I think it's fun.
I did a good job.
You did.
Patting myself on the back right now.
You did good. Thank you for planning a date.
You're welcome.
No, it's fun. It's fun. So but plan your getaways, plan date nights. I mean, do a project together. I mean, that's super fun. I mean, Gabe and I have so much fun on Mondays. Once a month, we get together and we chat about Marriage Monthly. What do we want to talk about? What have we seen? What are people talking to us about? What are the prayer requests that we're hearing? These kind of things. And that's kind of generally where we go with these things. And so, but planning together and doing stuff together, it feeds my soul. Yeah. It just feeds my soul. I love every second of it. And I just think it's super fun. So do something together. If you're, remodeling the house, it's a project you're doing together. You're chatting about it. You guys love theater. Go to the theater. I mean, I have friends that love the theater and they go together. And I think it's great. I mean, do your stuff together. Find your fun things and create memories all the time. But just don't do the same old thing because, like you said, it's got to be something memorable. If you're always going to Red Robin and the movie theater every single date night, you're never going to remember anything exciting that you ever do. So my question's here, and I love this. What are our top 10 memories as a couple? Think about that, because I got a bunch. I mean, the birth of my kids brought us so together, and I mean, Dawson, Caitlin, Caleb, they are the absolute joys of my life.
Yeah.
Wedding day, our honeymoon in San Francisco. I have so many fun memories of us in San Francisco at 21 years old, 20 years old. First time we went to Italy, we backpacked it and we stayed in hostels and we had the best time ever.
I remember wandering around the streets of Italy and we were so lost in Rome.
Oh, yeah.
And we were looking for this hostel we were going to stay in.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And then we go in this hostel and it was our first experience with a European door that was 100 feet tall.
Huge
and you're
and
like,
heavy.
how am I ever going to open this? And then you realize there's a much smaller door inside
the giant door.
You walk in there and we're like, whoa, we're staying with everybody in these bunk. We thought we were going to be in a bunk bedroom because that's all we saw.
They gave us a private room.
Yeah, that was funny.
But we still had to share a bathroom, which was,
yeah.
But I didn't care back then. Now I've gotten a little more bougie, but it was a blast back then. But I remember somebody gave us a free trip to Maui, and I had such fun memories of zip lining in Maui. It stands out like a sore thumb. Zip lining in Maui. It was so much fun, and the people on the bus thing going up, they knew we were from Portland by just the way we looked and talked, and it was so funny. We're like, oh yeah. Yeah. And then, I love doing couples retreats with Gabe. We have so much fun planning out couples retreats and couples events for, we have one coming up on February 13th, and that's so much fun. It's just, to me, it's a memory maker because we're pouring in our experience and what God has told us to help other couples. And that is such a joy to us to be able to do that. So, I mean, there's so many fun things, but what's one new memory we can create in the next 30 days? Well, lo and behold, Gabe and I are going on a cruise
yes, we
this
are.
next week. So we're going to make a ton of new memories because I have never been to the DR or Turks or any of that. So I'm excited to hit Miami. So that's going to be fun. So that's an easy one. But come up with a memory a new memory in the next 30 days. And then what rhythms, weekly, date night, quarterly getaway, annual retreat, when are you going to do it? You got to get on the calendar or it's not going to happen because we need to create bonding memories. I mean, Whatever that looks like for you, but do it. It's important.
Yeah.
This world just divides. It just divides. We have to be so proactive to unite.
Yeah. And I think your marriage is what you make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can make our marriage unified by just practicing a few simple things. So this week, just take a step, even one step, have a quick conversation or have a long conversation, whatever you have the ability to do right now. But as you start moving together, keep these things in mind. And it's going to get better.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember to share and subscribe and join us every single month. This is your counseling session.